The Battle of Los Angeles. World War II's mysterious air raid. In February 1942, America was reeling from the attack on Pearl Harbor just a few months earlier, and fear of another strike was running high. Coastal cities braced themselves for the worst, expecting enemy submarines or aircraft to appear at any moment. Little did they know, Los Angeles would soon become the epicenter of a mysterious event that still puzzles historians and UFO enthusiasts alike. The American West Coast had already endured several air raid drills and blackout warnings. Tensions ran thick as anti-aircraft batteries and spotlights were installed along the coast. Civilians were urged to stay vigilant, and the military remained on high alert. In this tense atmosphere, a single event would ignite a firestorm of speculation that would last for decades. Los Angeles, with its shipyards, defense plants, and proximity to the Pacific Ocean, was seen as a potential target for Japanese forces. The city had become a vital center for war production and military coordination. Defending its skies was of paramount importance, and that responsibility weighed heavily on those who manned the coastal defenses. But on one fateful night, something in the skies over LA would test their resolve in unexpected ways. With radio broadcasts warning of possible attacks and the memory of Pearl Harbor still fresh, Los Angeles residents were on edge. Many had begun stockpiling supplies and taking cover during air raid drills. Little did they know, the threat would come in a form no one expected. A series of mysterious lights would soon appear in the sky, leading to chaos, confusion, and an explosive military response. On the night of February 24, 1942, something unusual began to unfold in the skies above Los Angeles. What started as an eerie calm would soon transform into one of the most perplexing events of World War II on American soil. The stage was set for what would come to be known as the Battle of Los Angeles. And as the city slept, its citizens were about to experience something they would never forget. Prelude to Chaos, Fear on the West Coast. In the weeks leading up to the incident, several reports of enemy submarines and aircraft over the Pacific Ocean kept military personnel on constant edge. Only 2 days before, a Japanese submarine had surfaced near Santa Barbara, shelling an oil refinery. Though the attack caused little damage, it amplified the fear that the Japanese were poised to strike the mainland. The atmosphere of anxiety had reached a fever pitch. Blackouts became routine across the West Coast, with residents ordered to darken their homes to avoid becoming targets for enemy bombers. Air raid sirens echoed through the city as part of frequent drills, and military personnel stood ready at their posts. Tensions ran so high that even routine alerts triggered panic among civilians. The city of Los Angeles was a powder keg waiting for a spark. The U.S. Army had stationed anti-aircraft artillery throughout the city, from the rooftops of downtown buildings to the hills overlooking the Pacific. Spotlights were installed along the coast, ready to scan the skies for incoming aircraft. Los Angeles had become a fortress, bristling with military might and waiting for an attack. But the enemy that night was not what anyone expected. As darkness fell on February 24, 1942, radar operators detected what appeared to be an unidentified aircraft approaching the city. The alarms were raised, and anti-aircraft guns were readied. In the confusion and adrenaline, it was unclear what, if anything, was truly there. But fear and suspicion took over, and the stage was set for a historic confrontation. While the military prepared for a possible air assault, civilians huddled in their homes, fearing the worst. Many had heard rumors of enemy aircraft heading straight for the city, adding to the growing sense of dread. Little did they know, the night would not bring bombs, but confusion. A strange series of events would unfold, leaving more questions than answers. The night of the incident, a city under fire. Just after 2 a.m., the sky above Los Angeles lit up with searchlights scanning for a target. Radar had picked up something approaching the city, but visual confirmation was elusive. Military personnel fired anti-aircraft artillery into the sky, hoping to strike whatever was out there. The booming of the guns echoed throughout the city, and residents watched in disbelief. Thousands of rounds were fired into the dark, yet no enemy plane seemed to fall. Bright flashes from the exploding shells illuminated the sky, adding to the spectacle. People reported seeing strange objects gliding silently through the chaos, but they were difficult to identify. The sky was ablaze, but what exactly was being fired at remained a mystery. Witnesses on the ground were divided in their accounts of what they saw. Some claimed they saw formations of aircraft, others described mysterious glowing orbs moving with uncanny speed. Regardless of the shape or size, what was clear to everyone was the intensity of the military's response. The city was under siege, but from what, no one could be certain. For the citizens of Los Angeles, the night was filled with confusion and fear. Some took to their radios, hoping for updates, while others peered cautiously out of their windows at the chaos above. Reports of enemy planes began flooding in, yet there was no evidence to support them. The barrage continued for nearly an hour, but not a single confirmed enemy aircraft was brought down. As quickly as it had begun, the barrage came to an end. The sky went dark once more, and a strange calm settled over the city. There were no signs of wreckage, no enemy planes downed, and no explanation for what had triggered the event. The Battle of Los Angeles had come to a bizarre and perplexing conclusion, leaving behind only questions. Witness accounts, lights in the sky. Years later, those who experienced the Battle of Los Angeles would recall the strangeness of the night. Witnesses described everything from fleets of aircraft to silent, glowing orbs that defied explanation. Some even claimed to see a large, slow-moving object hovering above the city, seemingly impervious to the anti-aircraft fire. These varying accounts only deepened the mystery of what truly happened that night. One of the most common descriptions involved glowing objects that moved too slowly to be enemy aircraft but were too agile to be weather balloons. Eyewitnesses from different parts of the city reported seeing similar phenomena, yet no official explanation ever matched their stories. The military dismissed these sightings as either misidentifications or mass hysteria. But for those who were there, the night held something far more extraordinary. Military personnel were just as perplexed as the civilians. Although radar had detected an incoming object, there was no concrete evidence of what it was. As artillery shells burst in the air, many soldiers reported seeing objects that seemed to defy explanation. The confusion on the ground mirrored the chaos in the skies, as no one could be sure what they were fighting. In the days following the incident, newspapers were flooded with first-hand accounts. Some people swore they had witnessed an air raid by the Japanese, while others believed extraterrestrial visitors were responsible. Still, others thought it was a case of mistaken identity, fueled by wartime paranoia. These conflicting stories only added to the sense of unease that lingered in the city. As time passed, the stories grew into local legends. The mystery of what really happened on that February night remained unresolved, leaving a lasting imprint on those who lived through it. Some saw the event as a reminder of the fear and uncertainty of wartime, while others believed it pointed to something much stranger. Either way, the night of February 24, 1942, became one of the most talked about episodes in Los Angeles history. The aftermath, government explanations. In the immediate aftermath, the US military and government were quick to offer explanations. They claimed that the incident was the result of war nerves and that no enemy aircraft had been present. According to official reports, a weather balloon had likely caused the radar blip that led to the barrage. Yet, the lack of any physical evidence made this explanation hard for many to accept. The press, however, was not so easily convinced. Many newspapers openly questioned the official account, wondering how so many rounds of anti-aircraft fire could have been used without hitting a single target. The discrepancy between the military's statements and the eyewitness accounts only fueled public suspicion. Was the government hiding something, or had they simply made a grave error? The public's response was a mix of confusion and disbelief. Some believed the military had been justified in its response, thinking the barrage had scared off enemy planes. Others were less convinced, arguing that the military had either overreacted or was covering up something more mysterious. Whispers of UFOs and extraterrestrial visitors began to circulate, especially as more witnesses shared their stories. As UFO phenomena became more widely discussed in the 1950s and beyond, the Battle of Los Angeles was often referenced as one of the earliest mass sightings. Conspiracy theories began to emerge, with some believing the US government had encountered something otherworldly and was trying to cover it up. Official explanations grew vaguer as the years went by, leaving room for speculation. The story took on a life of its own in the world of UFO lore. In later years, declassified documents would reveal that the military remained unsure about what had caused the radar blip and the mysterious lights. Although many historians attribute the event to wartime paranoia, the lack of concrete answers has kept the mystery alive. Some have called for further investigation, but official records remain inconclusive. Answer: the Battle of Los Angeles remains an unsolved puzzle from one of America's most tumultuous periods. More than 80 years later, the Battle of Los Angeles continues to captivate the public's imagination. Whether seen as an overreaction by a jittery military or as an early encounter with the unknown, the event has never been fully explained. It stands as a testament to the fear and uncertainty of wartime, as well as the enduring allure of unsolved mysteries. Even today, new theories and speculations emerge, keeping the story alive. Over the decades, the incident has become the subject of countless books, documentaries, and even movies. Its blend of military action, mass confusion, and unexplained phenomena has made it a favorite topic for conspiracy theorists and UFO researchers alike. While the official explanation remains unsatisfying to many, the legend of the Battle of Los Angeles shows no signs of fading. It has earned its place in the annals of unsolved American mysteries. Theories continue to swirl around what really happened that night. Was it a simple case of mistaken identity, a weather phenomenon misinterpreted as an attack, or something far stranger? As long as there are no definitive answers, the mystery will endure. And the idea that something unknown once haunted the skies above Los Angeles will continue to intrigue those who seek the truth. For the people who lived through it, the Battle of Los Angeles was more than just a strange occurrence. It was a moment that left them questioning the world around them. Did they witness the fog of war, or was something more extraordinary at play? No matter which theory you believe, one fact remains. On that fateful night, the city of Los Angeles faced an enigma that has never been fully unraveled. The search for answers, like the battle itself, goes on. As we look up at the stars, it's hard not to wonder, what truly happened on that February night? Was it simply the confusion of war, or did something from beyond our understanding visit the skies of Los Angeles? For now, the answer remains as elusive as ever, and the Battle of Los Angeles, like so many other historical mysteries, continues to defy explanation.
Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment if you enjoyed the content and see you in our next video.